with that being said, remember that history is an ongoing discussion. It should never stop. History is an ongoing discussion. Hello, my name is CJ, and today I'll be talking about Guest Hollow's American History Level 1. And if you'd like to hear about Level 2, or you'd like a flip-through or a sneak peek at that, comment below with an emoji, and I'll give you a little taste of that as well. They both follow the same format, so this video should help, but I know that there are some of you who'd like to have a little extra information. I'd like to introduce you to some other homeschooling moms who are discussing Guest Hollow curriculum today. We are all talking about different subjects, so be sure to check them out. Thank you, Stephanie from Schulte Sweeties, for hosting in this collaboration with me today. If you are a Guest Hollow veteran and you'd like to jump ahead, go ahead and look at the timestamp below and go to where you'd like. Now, if you are new, give yourself some grace with the Guest Hollow curriculum. Just like with anything, there are learning curves, whether it's a new appliance, a new car, or even a piece of clothing. There are things to learn about, and there are things that you need to work through, so give yourself some grace. I'm using the Guest Hollow American History this year as one of my resources. For history, I tend to use many resources to produce my own history curriculum. And Guest Hollow is an excellent resource because they have a variety of medias from their book list, activities, movies, and videos. I tend to use a combination of secular and Christian books as we are a Bible-believing family. However, I want my kids to have knowledge of history from all different angles. I want them to know how to research and to fact-check their items and to compare everything from apologetic conversations to history documents to science to anything that they hear on the news, quite frankly. When I was in public school, I realized now that there were so many things that were glossed over, information left out. The news was telling you one thing, and then you had other sources telling you something else. It was a mess. And in an effort to make sure that my kids have as much accurate information as possible, I tend to use a lot of different resources and put together my own curriculum. And yes, that includes secular as well as Christian text. The facts are the fact. There's nothing we can do about that, but we can equip our kids and teach them how to use information, historical information, to get to your family goal or my family goal. And I believe that Guest Hollow will do that. So with that being said, remember that history is an ongoing discussion. It should never stop. History is an ongoing discussion. Guest Hollow has so generously supplied a coupon code so that you can get all of the tools and resources of curriculum that you need, whether you need it now or you can think ahead for the future. It is good on anything and you can use it over and over again. So be sure to check it out. So just a few tips for the person who is brand new to Guest Hollow. I would suggest joining one of the Facebook groups online. In this case, history. That way you can ask other families questions that you may have and be ready because the customer service is outstanding. You will ask questions and the owners will jump right in record time. The other thing I suggest is getting your books as early as possible, whether you buy them from someone else, whether you buy them from wherever you purchase your books, or whether you check them out from the library. I would totally suggest lining up your books, getting as many of them as you can, and if you have the feature at your library where you can space out your books and they are released to you at a certain time, I'd suggest doing that as well. Now, I'd like to walk you through all of the teacher details that is in the front portion of the American History Guide. On this first screen, it mentions to make sure that you download your purchased copy of the curriculum and save it to your computer or device. That is very important. Another thing that it mentions is to let you know that the links in the schedule are clickable. So whether you view it on your computer, your phone, or your tablet, you will have access to that. Another note is that the company recommends the free PDF readers of Adobe and Foxit, and those links are in the first few pages of the schedule. There is a helpful how to use and print Guest Hollow materials page. There is another reminder about downloading your material and what to do in case you need your username again. or your password. There is a strong emphasis to join the Facebook groups, and I highly recommend that. In this case, you would be joining the history group. However, I do encourage you to also join the Guest Hollows main curriculum LLC page, as well as any other group that might interest you. Moving down, it talks about credits briefly if you are interested in assigning your child high school credit, and a nice memo here on the videos. There are a lot of videos with lots of information, and so it is up to you and your discretion which videos you choose for your kids to watch, and there are some guidelines here. I'd like to point out that this curriculum definitely can be scaled back in a variety of ways, and they put some information here on how to do that. I myself, in curriculums that I've used in the past with Guest Hollow, I have cut out a lot, and it still was meaty and still full and challenging and enjoyable. So if you need to cut back, think of it as a buffet, because that is what it is, and you can choose. Section is how can this work with a reluctant reader? And from my personal experience, we have done all that you see listed here. We have read books out loud, we have used audiobooks, I've had the students read to each other, and quite frankly, we have left some books out. So there's some notes here on how to do that. In the past, when I was using Guest Hollow World Geography, I had 2 in middle school, which I still do actually, and 1 in high school. And here they break it down how you can use this history curriculum with your middle schooler. All right. And what I do think that they do so well is they give you some insights on what might be a little too mature for your middle schooler. Now, you are the judge of that, of course, but there are some suggestions and some hints on why you may want to skip certain books for your middle schoolers. So they have some reasons listed here. And then if we go a little further, it talks about how to use this schedule with your high schooler. It talks about recipes and activities and some of the items that you will need. Okay, so I want to show you some cool features about this book and resource list. Take a look here at the green section. These are the books that are marked in rank, all right? So a number 1 book are items that the company feels you shouldn't drop or substitute. And then number 2, the item is not absolutely necessary, but highly recommended, so forth and so on. So as you look throughout the chart, you can see which books are number 1, number 2, and number 3. Another note is that books featured in the workbook are marked with a star. And then another note, you can find all the books that you can substitute for your middle schooler. Those are in bold. And then one last feature, or actually 2, is that everything that is underlined and marked free, the company lets you know where you can get a free book. In this case, it's openlibrary.org. And below, here is the honors choice for those of you who have honor students and want something a little bit more elevated. So I'd like to walk you through these scheduled pages. This is week 3, and you see all of the resources and the days listed here. And then it has links for the different books, which you should already have either by purchasing them online or buying them through a different source or getting them from the library. It has the chapters broken down and a suggestion of what you should read each day. Then at the bottom, we have map work, and then the book for the map trek, and then also the pages that are suggested to go along with each day. We have the workbook, and then a direct link to the workbook page. So here we have the disease link, and it goes straight to the typhus page, and it tells you all about that disease, and your child can read it and see pictures, etc. Section, and there's a little blurb there on the activity and some additional things that you can add to it, and you can make a decision based off of your child's interest or the involvement in the activity, whether you want to do the activity or not. Here we have the videos. Now, The videos have direct links to them. So you see they're underlined and there's a direct link there. The company has done well with giving you some heads up on what might be in the video that you may want to be aware of. Here we have some information, and then here for the full-length videos we have some information. Adam ruins everything, the first Factsgiving, humorous and animated. Teens will enjoy this one. All right, so you'll see that throughout. I'll show you some more in just a moment, but I want to bring special attention to that because there are lots of different notes sprinkled throughout the schedule that will give you a heads up. Let's click on the Bacon's Rebellion Explained. Actually, let's go to the workbook and let's take a look at where that ties in. And we have a video that we need to watch. It says, watch this video, which is linked in the videos row of the online wiki schedule. So here is a link to the video for Bacon's Rebellion, as well as if we jump back, we will click on that link now so I can show you how it connects. Okay, Bacon's Rebellion Explained. So we click on that and it takes us straight to the video, Bacon's Rebellion Explained. Jumping back, here is the rest of the workbook. Here's an article, read about the disease. Now this is the typhus link that I just clicked on. Research the Columbian Exchange via this page. Good old Wikipedia, so you'd click on that. And that is the end of week 3. So let's take a look at week 4. Same setup. Has a little side note here from the company. So let's take a look at week 6. Same setup. We have the Hamilton cookbook and it looks like we have a recipe here. Yum, yum. Let's go down a little further. We have a movie to watch, The Crucible. It's optional. Now, obviously, any of these books and movies, if you didn't know, are optional. It's up to your discretion. There are some books that are highly advised and some movies and videos, but all of this in general is up to your discretion as a parent. All right, we have a map from the workbook, Pennsylvania and nearby areas, and then we have a link to Google Earth. Let's jump over to the workbook to see what this Google Earth has to do with the workbook. We have Religion's First Great Awakening. Let's take a look. Here we go. Look up Quebec using Google Earth. Zoom in. What American states touch the boundary of the province? So that is where Google Earth comes in. And then we'll just complete week 6 since we're here. Let's click on Google Earth, just that simple. And there you go, Google Earth. All right. So your student would go and try to find the answer to that question here.